Hell no. $1 million baby. Hello, hello. Oh my god, I'm totally like this. Paolo Santo. What's up, what's up? Today, before we get started, I finally have Palo Santo. I literally just relocated. I need to clear the energy. Today we're talking about adoption, which has been a long time coming, I'm not gonna lie. It's hotter than Satan's anus in here right now, but it's nice having a breeze. $1 million. I don't know why that fucking song stuck in my head, bitch. That's crazy. Also, I'm really loving these poppy drinks. Okay, these are real delicious. Okay. Per usual, I tried to make this into a little video, but I talk too damn much, so I'm like, let's go live. Boop. Anyway, so, okay. Today we're talking about adoption, which is literally a long time coming. A long time coming, okay? So share this with a friend. If you know someone that's adopted, that was in the foster system, that maybe you're thinking about going through the adoption process, or you want to become a foster parent, or whatever, send this to them. Stay tuned. But I'm just gonna make this really quick because I'm gonna try to be savvy, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these things, but I know I need them for my candles, and so here we go. But do you guys remember when I made the video about how I said, oh my god, I cannot believe I'm talking about this right now. This is wild. This is wild. Woo, child. Do you remember when I said that the adoption agencies and the foster care system are the only legal forms of human trafficking? Because they are. Oh, fuck. I cannot believe I'm talking about this right now. Because they are. So I decided to make a little series. I have a blog, www. Please go watch. That's not even watch it. It's going to be coming a series on my YouTube as soon as I get to town. This place where it's a recording studio. Anyway, so as soon as I get there next week, I'm going to start the video version of this, but for now it's in blog form. But I started a series called How Adoption Ruined My Life. Obviously, adoption did not ruin my life because I'm very much alive and well. But there's a lot of healing that really needed to take place that I was not ready to really embark on yet, because it was going to challenge a lot for me. And it's still actively, as I'm writing this blog series, is still challenging for me because of the fear of rejection that I have experienced along the way growing up from my adopted family. Obviously, the rejection from my biological mother and the family and all the things that I wasn't ready to face. And so I sometimes like put out little things, like little blips about, like, for example, the video I posted, how the foster care system and adoption agencies are legal forms of human trafficking. Like, I said what I said, and I stand 10 toes down in that. Like, actively still stand 10 toes down in that. There's a lot of things that I really wanted to say in the video that I'm just going to share with you quickly here before I get off and finish doing the energetic cleanse, the actual cleanse, get my house ready for the full moon, myself and my partner ready for the full moon, because we're releasing a lot of shit. And this actually is coming at a really great time because this is allowing you to release cycles from the last 16 years that you've been holding on to. It could be thought processes, it could be an actual cycle that you have yourself in this loop. And so I'm clearing myself and I'm healing myself from said loop, and which is why I'm live right now. But there's a lot of things that people don't really know, and we end up gassing up people. And adoption can be a really beautiful thing, it really is. But there's a lot of shit that they don't know that goes on with the adopted child, even the foster child. There's a lot of spiritual functions, spiritual implications that manifest into physical behaviors that parents don't like to see. And they're like, I don't know why my child can't sit still. Bitch, because they're not getting what they need spiritually. I don't know why I can't catch my child, because they have had their root chakra, their sacral chakra, and their solar plexus disrupted due to adoption. And if you don't know those things, how are you going to show up for your child? How are you going to show up for your friend who went through this process and now they're having an issue with their child, but that they feel safe with you? There's a level of ego that needs to be put to the side in order for you to show up for this child, because adoption is traumatic no matter how beautiful it is. They could be born with a silver spoon in their mouth and still be given up for adoption and adopted into a family that's very, very, very well off, and they're still feeling some type of way and they don't understand why. And so I created the series, like I said, How Adoption Ruined My Life. And in this series, I'm going through and sharing my personal stories and all of the ways that it could have ruined my life. There's a lot more healing that needs to be done that a lot of people don't under and understand the issues when it happens spiritually, and then you're not paying attention to it and how it manifests physically. People don't understand about how therapy is very, very important from the minute they're able to talk with a hoe in therapy, someone that specializes in adoption trauma, because the child knows something's off. That's the biggest thing. The child knows something off. The parent, obviously, they adopted that child, so they know there's going to be some type of issues. Something is obviously off, but due to lack of knowledge and this weird savior complex that people inevitably have because of this, we are doing these children and this generation and adoptees and foster kids a disservice because we don't have the knowledge and we don't want to sit down objectively and learn something that's going to challenge ourselves to grow and be better for the next generation of people. And so if you know someone that is adopted, if you know someone that has been a part of the foster care system, if you yourself were a part of the foster care system or the adoption system, you're looking to become a foster parent or an adopted parent, please go do the work, okay? It really is not going to challenge anything more except for expanding your consciousness, okay? When you can expand your consciousness, you can expand your empathy. When you expand your consciousness and your empathy, you're able to sit there objectively and create a safe space for this child to express themselves, because it's not personal. And if you're taking it personal, a hit dog's gonna holler. Let me tell you, the amount of times that I've tried to have a conversation with my adopted mother about how I was feeling and how I wanted to explore all the things, and even going to go meet my biological family, she was extremely triggered by that. In fact, she was so triggered by that we actually do not have a relationship to this day, because she has still yet have a really hard time understanding that no matter how much you provided for me, there's still a section of me that felt like I was neglected and abandoned, because to some degree I was, and that was emotionally and spiritually. I had a very good upbringing. If I wanted something, they provided. We went on vacations, we did all the things and stuff. I was in competition this and competition that, and sleepovers and birthday parties and cars and all the shit. I got all the shit, I did. But there's a big part of me that was missing. There's a big part of me that was neglected, and any time that I needed some type of nurturing, I needed some type of emotional nurturing, emotional education, I would not get that from them. They were not emotionally available people. They were not spiritually available people. And me being as spiritual as I am, and how that's tied to your emotions, that was the biggest part of me that was being neglected. And to this day, she'll say that me talking about my childhood traumas makes her feel bad, makes her feel some type of way. It's not my fault. It's not, I cannot continue to silence myself because you know where you failed. You know. And so, like I said, a hit dog's gonna holler. So let him holler. So I created the series, How Adoption Ruined My Life. Eventually, it will become a video series, but for now, it's on my blog. And so far, I've got the root chakra, I've got the sacral chakra up there. I also have, I'm going through all the chakras in great detail with psychological research, spiritual research, personal stories, and personal experience all on this blog. And so it is incredibly insightful. And so I implore you, even if you don't know anybody, this education is very, very, very important to have, because eventually you will come across someone who's had this experience, and because you have this knowledge, you're able to really be there and support them and create a safe and healthy space for them to feel safe and secure for probably the first time in their life. And so because I've never actually experienced being safe and secure and feeling like I was a part of something, I created my own collective of people who wanted to have those same experiences and feel a part of something that they felt like they were missing their entire life. And so I said what I said. I needed to get this off my chest. There's a lot that needed to be said there, and I don't feel like I could have put it in a 10-minute video. I probably could have, but something was, I kept redoing it and redoing it and redoing it because of the fear of the rejection I would get if my adopted family would see it. They've already emotionally rejected and done their thing and shown me multiple times that they do not have the capacity to hold space for an emotionally intelligent conversation, a spiritually intelligent conversation, without attaching their own ego to it. It doesn't have anything to do with them, and it's all about my own personal truth and my own story and my own healing journey. And so here I am, being spiritually obedient, being fucking, vulnerable, and the internet is a really mean place, which also took me a long time to create this series because the internet is judgmental as fuck. Like, judgmental as fuck. So that's all I had to say. www.thecollectiveoneblog.com. Literally the collective one, like my name, and then add blog to the end and .com, bitch. Go over there, add yourself to the email list, go to my YouTube, subscribe. I don't have any videos about this yet up there. I do have a meeting on Tuesday at the podcast studio about creating the series because I know this is going to be incredibly complex and I don't have the capacity to talk about it and edit it and put it up at the same time. So I'm procuring people who can. But take the time, get the education. There's a lot of spiritual knowledge in there. And if one of your friends was adopted, right? And you're like, oh my God, the way that they acted at this stage in their life makes so much fucking sense. That's going to help you be a better friend. A lot of the times people don't talk about this shit because they're embarrassed by it. They are confused by it. They don't want someone else to feel bad because they feel bad and they're talking about it. And maybe that person knows where they failed them. Maybe that person knows that they weren't emotionally available. We don't know. But the more we know, the better we can show up for people that really need us to show up for them when we don't expect it. So that's all I had to say. I'm going to try to put this motherfucking ink in. Y'all have a good weekend.